Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Holy Grail Sales Podcast. Just wanted to wait a few more minutes and then we'll get it going. Thanks you guys for stopping by. All right. All right, we can go ahead and get started. All right, let me just introduce myself for a second. Good afternoon, y'all. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Holy Grail Sales Podcast. My name is Robert Mendy, the faith-based salesman, author, and CEO of the Holy Grail Sales. Welcome to the show, the Holy Grail Sales Podcast. What we do here, we teach people, highly successful sales professionals, to serve with intention, faith, combining powerful sales techniques with spiritual insights. In other words, we teach them how to sell like the greatest salesman of all time. So welcome. Thanks for joining the show. So today we're going to talk about mission-driven sales presentation. Selling transformation, not product. That's what we're talking about today. All right, let's get it going. So we're going to talk about how Jesus sold vision and transformation. That's what we're going to talk about today. Invite people into a mission. Jesus called fishermen to become fishers of people, lifting their eyes from commerce to calling. Promised life transformation, not material gain. He offered abundant life and renewal rather than a list of benefits. Let's stop there for a second. So Jesus invited people into a mission. He sold them a vision. What vision are you selling your clients? He invited them to become fishers of men. In order for him to do that, he had to sell them a vision. And they gladly followed. What are you to make sure that your clients are able to pick up what you're putting down? What are you doing to make sure that they understand what you're saying? That they know that you got their best interest in mind? That's very important. How are you showing up in front of your client for them to understand it and see it without you having to do anything? Remember, we talked about it on the last episode about attitude and how you show up to your clients. When Jesus called fishermen to follow him, he didn't talk about nets or boats. He promised to make them fishers of people, lifting their eyes from commerce to calling. This shift from a job to a mission crafted a compelling vision of transformation. That's what he did to them. And they understood it and joined him. Welcome to the show, guys. Deanna, welcome to the show. Promised life transformation, not material gain. Jesus said he came so that people might have life to the full. Not just more things. The Apostle Paul exhorts believers to be transformed by the renewal of their minds. Mission-driven sales begin with the promise of renewal rather than a list of features. That's very important. This is how you're able to now get your clients to know and understand that you got their best interest in mind. You got to be able to paint a vision. You got to be able to show them the way. That's what Jesus was able to do with the apostles. He painted a picture to them. He showed them the vision, and they gladly follow. As you do that with your clients through your fact find, to the grading, your attitude, how you approach it, the grading, the fact find, and the qualifying. Then before you get onto the selection part and demonstration, you already painting the picture of what it's going to look like. Especially when you get to demonstration, when you're trying to break down the product, which we'll get to it in a second. So moving beyond features and benefits, very important. Focus on outcomes. People aren't buying a ladder. They are buying the ability to reach new heights. Mission-driven selling highlights the transformation your product makes possible. Freedom, confidence, growth, rather than only the technical details. Ollie Jr., welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Articulate the why. Without vision, people cast restraints. A compelling vision helps prospects see why your product matters and how it aligns with their deeper purpose and values. You have to be able to paint that picture. You have to show them the vision of what their product's going to look like in their homes. Welcome, Peter. Your clients have to see the vision that you're painting for them. They got to visualize the product in their homes. They got to visualize themselves using your product. I said it earlier. That's what Jesus was able to do. He painted the vision to the apostles. He told them to follow him, hail him, fishers of men. And they gladly did because the vision was painted and they saw it. That's the same way you got to do with your clients. So that was moving beyond features and benefits. See, you can talk about features all the time. You can talk about it all you want. But you got to be able to paint that picture. The client has to be able to see it. That's why they tell you all the time, don't just talk about features. Make sure that every time you talk about features, you're adding benefits to it. The benefits is what actually now allows the client to see how they're going to be able to enjoy that product. What are they benefiting? What benefit are they getting from your product? How can they use your product in a way where it's actually enhancing their lives? It's adding to their lives. That's what they have to be able to see. So it's got to go beyond features and benefits. If you're just talking about features and benefits, you're not painting the picture properly. Features and benefits are very important. You break it down, but you got to be able to paint it and have them visualize it. They got to be able to see it. Like imagine coming home to this product. Can you see yourself driving this if you're in cars? If you're in furniture, imagine coming home to this product, to this furniture, to this sofa, whatever the case may be. You have to be able to paint the picture. Let's talk about the power of mission-aligned selling. Aligned selling with higher purpose. Mission-driven sales ditch the old ways of pitching. persuading, and pressured. Instead, they align the act of selling with your values and mission, allowing you to become a trusted advisor. That's what you want. You want to be a trusted advisor to your client. This is how they're going to be able to know that you're not just busy just trying to sell them anything. When you become a trusted advisor, there's trust. You built it. Your client can now know that you're actually busy trying to make sure you focus on what you're trying to get them, meaning their best interest in mind. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome, Q. Welcome to the show. Abdul, welcome to the show. So I wanted to break down those 3 points for you guys first before we get into the first segment, right? So we talked about how Jesus sold vision and transformation. Then we talked about moving beyond features and benefits. Now, just a few minutes ago, we talked about the power of mission-aligned selling. The last point actually on mission-aligned selling before we get into the first segment. Sell to glorify God and serve others. This is a big one, guys, and I want you to hear this real good. When every aspect of your work, including sales, is done for the glory of God, your approach becomes an art. It becomes an act of service. Integrity deepens and relationship flourishes. This is bigger than you at this point. You're not just doing this for a commission. You're doing this for the glory of the man above. You're doing it for the Most High. When you do this, you can't help but have your customer's best interest in mind. When you do this, all you're focusing on making sure that your customer get exactly what they came in for. There's purpose involved. This is servant salesmanship. This is faith-based selling. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's get into the first segment. So first segment, we're talking about crafting your transformation story. My brother, welcome to the show. I'll see you. Linus, thanks for stopping by. So let's talk about identifying the transformation your product creates to your client. Define the future state you make possible. Okay? We're talking about crafting transformation story. This is very important. This is why I love Zig Ziglar, because he was the master when it comes to telling stories. Telling stories is everything because it allows you to build rapport. It allows you to connect with your clients. This is how you build trust. So define the future state you make possible. Begin with the outcome. Begin with the end in mind. That's what I'm talking about. Begin with the outcome. What will the customer's life look like after using your product? Improved health, financial freedom, or spiritual growth should drive your narrative. What is your client gaining after they acquire your product? What's the benefits? How are they going to enjoy your product? Welcome to the show, guys. Maria Majoke, welcome to the show. That's a sister right there. Now let's talk about connect to spiritual renewal. See, your clients, like I told you a few minutes ago, they have to know what benefits they're going to actually get from your product. They need to know what your product is doing for them. How are they going to enjoy it? What benefits is it adding to them? Are their lives being transformed after they get your product? Remember, we are in the life improvement business. This is what we do as salespeople. I don't care what product you're selling. You're not in that product business. You are in the transformational business and in the life improvement business. We are in the people business, people. That's why you got to be able to tell stories so you can connect. You got to be able to show them how they're going to benefit after they get your product. How are their lives going to be transformed after they own your product? That's what I just covered a few minutes ago. So let's talk about connect spiritual renewal. The Apostle Paul wrote that anyone in Christ is a new creation. The old has passed away and the new has come. Your product should symbolize this kind of renewal in its domain, moving listeners from as is to be. You're taking them from the old to the new. Remember, they came to you because they got a problem that needs solving. And you are the one with the solution. That's why you're there. That's why you're the professional. So how are you going to help them improve their lives? If you're in furniture, they probably got old furniture that needs to be replaced. So now they need new ones. So you're going to take them from the old to the new. Same thing, they come to trying to buy a car from you. They probably have an old beat up car, or the car is no longer working, or it has issues, whatever the case may be. There's a pain there. There's pain that needs to be taken care of. That's why they came to see you. So now it's your job to help improve their lives. How can you lessen that pain? And how can you help them be transformed by the time they're done working with you? That's the difference. Are you transforming lives? That's what we do here at the Holy Grail Sales. As a faith-based salesman, that's what I do. This is faith-based salesmanship we're talking about. Servant salesmanship. It's beyond you. You're doing it for the glory of the Most High. When you do that, there's no selfishness. You're not thinking about just how you can get paid, but you're thinking about how can I help improve your life? You're thinking about how can I serve you? How can I add to you? This is how you're doing it. Welcome to the show, guys. Mariama, welcome to the show. Sohna, welcome to the show. User 5520, also welcome to the show. Welcome, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Let's talk about building a library of transformation testimonials. This is key, guys. This is very important. Gather real stories. Collect stories from customers whose lives were changed through your products. These cloud of witnesses demonstrate the transformation is not theoretical, but lived. These are people that dealt with you, clients that loved you, and that can't stop talking about you, right? Build that relationship with them and gather some testimonials from them. This will help you in the long run, and that's going to build more credibility for the ones that are just meeting you for the first time. Once they research you or they look you up and they see you, or when you're talking to them and you show them how you was able to help this family and that family and that family, that's going to add more credibility to you. Position your audience as the hero, always. The presenter is not the hero, but the mentor. Your role is to guide and equip the audience, helping them overcome their challenges and emerge transformed. That's the same thing you're doing with that client that's in front of you. They could be walking into your building with a frown, but your goal is by the time they walk out of your building, they're walking out with a smile. They're walking out knowing that their life just got transformed by meeting you. because the product that you provided them will help do that. You're going to actually help them create memories with their families, with their loved ones. Welcome to the show, guys. Cyrus, I hope I said that right. Welcome to the show. Showtime, welcome to the show. Ty, welcome to the show. Welcome, guys. SR, welcome to the show as well. And for anybody that I missed, definitely wasn't on purpose. But I appreciate you stopping by. Welcome to the show, guys. Now let's get to connecting products. Product features to life change. Map features to aspirations. For every feature, ask how it enables the customer to achieve their goals or overcome pain points. Remember I told you earlier, they came in because there's some pain there. There's something that needs solving. That's why they came to see you. Your job, your goal is to make sure that you identify that pain and find a way to actually provide that solution. That's it. They didn't just come to see you to just socialize. No, they came in because there's some pain that needs solving. There's a problem that needs to be taken care of. That's why they came to see you. So it's your job to provide a solution. Explain why a time-saving tool matters. Perhaps it frees time to serve family or community. This is how you map out features to aspirations. Build a bridge. Use analogies to link the current state to the desired state. Show how your product acts as a bridge from the present pain to future purpose. You do this after you do a phenomenal job qualifying your guests, after you do a phenomenal job with your greeting, after you do a phenomenal job fact-finding, meaning trying to find out exactly what those pain points are, what brought them to see you in the first place. After you do all those things, you're not able to step into this position. You can't build bridges if you don't understand what the pain points are, if you don't understand what the problem is, if you don't understand what got them to come to see you in the first place. But once you do, building a bridge now is very easy. Remember, it says, use analogies to link the current state to the desired state. You know what the situation is, and now you know where you're trying to take them. That's the desired state. And that's how you're going to provide the solution to them. So that's how you build the bridge. Show how the product acts as a bridge from the present pain to the future. This is how I'm going to help solve your problem. I'm going to take you from that to here. This is how you're going to help create new memories with your family moving forward. This is how I'm going to help transform your life. That's how you build that bridge. The hero's journey in sales presentation. Structure your story around transformation. Remember I said that earlier. This is the reason why I love Zig so much. I was the master of telling stories. I can't get enough of that guy. When I listen to him, I'm laughing. Sometimes I'm crying. But he just has this way of just explaining things that just make so much sense. That was definitely that's the go to me. So you got to do the same thing. I'm not telling you be Zig, but just be yourself. But find ways to get better at telling stories. The better you become at telling stories, the more you can connect with your clients. It makes it personal. It allows you to build rapport. Adrienne, welcome to the show. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Grandma _farmer, welcome to the show. Thanks for stopping by, guys. An ordinary world, a call to adventure, trials and support, transformation and return. This arc keeps the audience engaged. Position your audience as the hero. Remember, the presenter is not the hero, but the mentor. Your role is to guide and equip the audience, helping them overcome their challenges and emerge transformed. That's the hero journey. Let's get into the second segment. Remember, I told you I want to break it down in 3 segments. So the second segment talk about presenting with prophetic vision. Helping prospects see their better future. The better you become at this, the better you're going to become as a salesperson. So number 1, paint vivid pictures of success. Describe in details what life would look like after transformation. The peace, joy, and freedom that follow. A clear vision motivates prospects to step forward. That's what I said. It's very important earlier. You have to be able to paint vision. You got to be able to see, make it see it. See, the good book say, make your vision plain, just he that sees it can take it and run with it. That's what he's talking about. You got to be able to paint the vision to your clients. They got to be able to see the outcome. That's why they say start with the end goal in mind. Paint the picture. The vision has to be clear. Once it's clear, I'm telling you, your prospect will buy from you. Zig Ziglar said, with people like you, they'll listen. But if they trust you, they'll buy from you. Inspire hope with scripture. Remind prospects that everything is possible for one who believes and that God can do immeasurably more than what we can even imagine ourselves. These promises foster possibility thinking. Shell, welcome to the show. Marcus Williams, welcome to the show. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining the show. Let's talk about using metaphors and parables in presentations. Follow Jesus' example. Jesus often taught the crowd using parables. Everyday stories that conveyed profound truth. Metaphors make complex ideas accessible and memorable. Craft your own metaphors. Create relatable comparisons that connects your product to familiar experiences. For example, we don't sell a ladder, we sell a way to reach your God-given potential. We don't sell a ladder, we sell a way to reach your God-given potential. People tend to actually relate when you're talking metaphors and parables. That's why he's talking about craft your own metaphors. It's not hard to do. You just bring the conversation to their level. What's the point of having a conversation with someone if they don't understand or know what you're talking about? That's a non-starter. It's not going anywhere. So you got to make it relatable. That's why you use analogies and all those things so people can actually see it. They know it. They can, as you get to know them and as you pretty much, obviously, through the fact find, you get to know exactly who you're dealing with. And then you're going to know how to tailor that conversation. You're going to know what to say, what not to say. You're going to know what analogies to use, what metaphors to use, and even parables if you know of any. But that's how you're going to be able to connect and be able to paint that vision to them. because they can relate to those things that you're talking about. They can pick up what you're putting down. Tico, welcome to the show. Mariama Job, thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Now let's talk about creating emotional and spiritual connection. Lead with empathy. Share stories that evoke empathy and highlights the deeper mission beyond your product. Emotional engagement is key to true transformation. Speak to the heart. Use inclusive language and spiritual references to show prospect that you are a partner, that you are a partner with them in a mission bigger than you both. See, people buy with emotion, but then they defend the purchase with logic. People buy with emotion, but then they'll defend the purchase with logic. That means if you want your prospect to buy from you, emotion has to be elicited. You have to get emotion involved. If you can't elicit your client's emotion, it's going to be tough for that client to buy it from you. That's why stories are so important, because it allows you to tap into those emotions. Very important. So creating emotional and spiritual connection. It allows you to connect. If there's no emotion involved, that client's not buying from you. I don't care what you're selling. I just said it a few minutes ago. They only buy when there's emotion involved. Vincent, welcome to the show. Yes, welcome to the show. Church in, too big, welcome to the show. Hopefully I said that right. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Welcome to the Holy Grail Seller Podcast. I'm Robin Bendy, your faith-based salesman. We'll talk about servant salesmanship. Let me give you guys the last point on the second segment, then we'll move on to segment 3. The power of possibility thinking. Counter limiting beliefs. This is big, guys. Emphasize that all things are possible for those who believe. Encourage your audience to see beyond their current reality. You have to be able to do this with your client. We all human and we all different. We all come from different backgrounds, different walks of life. But limiting beliefs is so deep, man, it's not even funny. Limiting beliefs are the reason sometimes why we are where we are in life. We grew up a certain way. People told us certain things. Some things that are actually even detrimental to us. But we grew up believing it. We kept hearing it over and over and over. And at some point, we believed it. You have to be able to counter those limiting beliefs that your prospects came in with, that your client came in with. If you can't do that, you're going to have a hard time selling to that client. Tell them things that's going to uplift them. You qualify them so you can tell. You can see what energy they're bringing into to your building. If I see you walking in here Friday, my goal is to make sure that before you walk out here, you're walking out with a smile. I'm being intentional at this point. That's my goal. for you to walk out with a smile. My goal is always to leave you better than I found you. That's just how you leave a lasting impact on your customers. This is how you build a lifetime relationship with your clients. Keep pouring into your clients. Keep adding value. Keep giving them so much value to the point that they can't help but keep talking about you to others. Every time they're thinking about your product, they're thinking of you. You help them transform. So this is just bigger than your product. You're selling transformation, not just product. You can't do that just by being lethargic or just by going with emotion. No. You do that by tapping in. You do that by finding out what the real issue was and how can you provide a solution. You do that by empathizing with your clients. You do that by showing them that you care. That's what it's all about. John Maxwell said that people don't care about how much you know until they know what? How much you care. The clients have to know that you care. They need to know that you got their best interest in mind. That you're not just there for the paycheck. Sometimes they just need someone to talk to. Yes, they came in for that product, but they're going through something. We all are. Life is always lifing. But how can you impact that client to the point for a second they forgot whatever troubles they're going through, whatever problems going on in their lives? You got to make it bigger than just your product. User 1859, welcome to the show. I believe it's Kim. Welcome to the show. Can't see too well. WY Ovi, welcome to the show. All right, let's talk about segment 3. We're almost there, people. Structured transformation selling. The transform presentation model. Introduce the acronym TRANSFORM as you're selling. So TRANSFORM stands for, the T in TRANSFORM stands for testimony. What testimony are you providing to your clients as you're telling stories, as you're building trust? Marius, welcome to the show. Linus, appreciate you hanging out with us. Mariam, I appreciate you hanging out with us as well. Thanks, guys, for joining the show. Introducing the acronym TRANSFORM. So we say the T stands for testimonies. The R in TRANSFORM stands for revelation of current challenges. This is why you got to know what you're doing. You have to be a professional about what you do so you can be able to do these things that I'm talking about. So the knowledge is going to be key. Revelation of current challenges. The A in TRANSFORM stands for aspirational vision. And you got to be able to paint it. You got to be able to show it to them. They have to see it. The better you become about painting a vision to your clients, the better salesperson you're going to become. And the better closer you will be as well. Because sometimes clients come to you, they have no idea what they need. And you can tell them that this is what you're going to need all you want. But if they can't see it, they're not going to buy it. So you have to gain the ability to paint the picture and show them the vision so they can see it in their homes, so they can see themselves in it if it's a car that you're selling. so they can see themselves in the home. If you're in real estate, you got to be able to paint the picture. So that's what the A stands for, aspirational vision. The N stands for narrate features as bridges. We talked about it earlier. Narrate features as bridges. So in sales, we say all the time, features tell, but benefits sell. So I gain the ability to narrate features as bridges. The S in transform stands for scripture, story. Scripture and story. That's why I say it's so important to actually become a great storyteller. The F in transform stands for future state. You came to me with one state. Now I need to make sure that you walk out with a different state. That's a transformation that we're talking about. Am I leaving you better than I found you? The O in transform stands for objection handling. Most of the time, objections are nothing but questions left unanswered throughout the presentation, or concerns that was left unaddressed. This is why you should always make sure that you address every single concern that your prospect or your clients have. Every question that they have, do the best you can to answer those questions to the best of your abilities. The better you become at doing that, the less objections you're going to have at the end. If you're skipping through, if they're asking you questions and you act like you don't hear them, if they have concerns that they're addressing and you're actually just brushing it off, by the time you're done with that presentation, you're going to have a bunch of objections waiting on you. You're going to have a hard time making that sale because there's very critical things that was there that you did not address. And that's very important to that client. So because of that, they're not going to buy from you, because that concern was never addressed. It's an issue. Or the question that they had, you did not address the question. You did not answer the question. This is how you end up with objection. When you see people that are so very good about closing, that's what they do. They do phenomenal on their presentations. And they make sure they listen. So not only they hear what the clients are saying, but also they hear what the client is not saying. Once you get so good about hearing what the clients is saying, but also what they're not saying, you're home free. Because now you're able to actually address the concern. Even if they don't bring it up, you already addressed it. Because you heard what they didn't say. Oh, that's deep. As professionals, that's what we do. That's what we do here at Holy Grail Sales. As a servant salesman, that's what you do. As a faith-based salesman, that's what you do. Anointed, welcome to the show. So that's objection that we talked about. So that's the O in transform. The R in transform, response, commitment. Response, commitment. I just said it a few minutes ago when I was talking about the objection. The answers that you also committing to give to your clients. How are you answering your clients? How are you showing up? Are you also, as you're responding to them, as you're answering their questions, are you also coming off as someone, as the expert? As you're coming off as like you know what you're talking about, that this is what you do. Like the young folks say, are you coming off like you him? And are you committed to what you're doing? Are you committed to making sure that they get exactly what they came in for? Are you committed to them, meaning your clients? Do you have their best interest in mind? Are you committed to making sure that they walk out of here getting exactly what they came in for? Are you committed to their transformations? Remember, we're not just selling products. We're selling transformation. So that was the R in transformation. The M in transformation, which is the last letter, mission reminder. Mission reminder. You're doing this with purpose. You're doing this for the glory of God. You're selling with a mission. This structure keeps the conversation centered on transformation, which is what we just talked about. We're selling transformation, not just product. Use the model as a blueprint. Each element ensures that you share stories, acknowledge pain, cast vision, link features, anchor your message in scripture, handle objections through a transformation lens, and call for commitment. Welcome to the show, guys. Cherry, welcome to the show. Kenny, welcome to the show. Really appreciate you guys stopping by. Welcome to the Holy Grail Sales Podcast. I'm your faith-based salesman. That's what they call me in these streets. Welcome to servant salesmanship, guys. Completely different from conventional selling. Over here, we focus on what? We focus on service. We focus on making sure that we serve our clients. We're not worried about commission because we know once we do the job right, guess what? The commission will come. Money, fame, all that stuff. That's all. Those things are all just byproducts. We focus on the gift. We focus on the purpose. That's why we serve first. Then we focus on making sure that we leave a lasting impact on our clients. Why do we leave a lasting impact on our clients? To make sure that every time they need something, they need our product, they're thinking of us. Anytime they know anybody out there looking for our product, they send them our way. That's a lasting impact. We're focusing on experience. What experience are we giving our clients? Are we committed to make sure that they transform? Not just selling them products. That's what we do here at the Holy Grail Sales. So welcome to the show. This is what we teach you how to sell like the greatest salesman of all time. Let's talk about the opening with mission and vision. Lead with purpose. Begin by sharing your mission and how it aligns with doing everything for the glory of God. Framing your message as service transforms selling into ministry. Cast a compelling vision. Describe the destination you want your audience or your clients to reach so that they are motivated from the outcome or the outset. Lead with purpose. Cast a compelling vision. Why is it that you do what you do? Do you really enjoy what you're doing? Do you love what you're doing? A wise man once told me, do what you love and make money while doing it, and you'll never work a day in your life. Is that how you feel when you're at work? Do you really enjoy the process? Do you love interacting with your clients? Do you love being the problem solver? Do you love bringing the transformation your clients need? Do you love giving them that experience that nobody else out there is giving them? Do you love serving? This is how you become a servant salesman. This is how we do faith-based salesmanship. This is the Holy Grail of sales. Let's talk about building bridges From current state to desired state. We mentioned that earlier. Building bridges from current state to desired state. Remember, your clients came to you in one state. That's your goal, to make sure that they walk out with a desired state. Acknowledge their ordinary world. Demonstrate empathy for the challenges prospects face and show that you understand their current situation. That's how you show empathy. Connect features to mission. Present each feature as a bridge to the desired outcome, demonstrating how it helps them journey from present difficulties to future victories. So you got to be able to paint this picture. Acknowledge their ordinary world first. You do that by what? By showing empathy. Understand their feelings. Understand that you understand. Tell them that, make sure they understand that you know what they're going through. And then connect every feature that you're going to bring up while you're doing your presentation to the mission. You're taking them from their present difficulties to future victory. That's how you build bridges from current state to desired state. Where are you trying to take them? Handling objections through transformation lens. Reframe objections. That's the number one point. See objections as reluctance to change. Address underlying fears by reminding prospects of their mission and the promise of transformation. Respond with empathy and truth. Validate concerns and use stories or scripture to show how change is possible. Then restate how the mission invites them to overcome. That's the goal. You're taking them from one state to the next. They might have come with a lot of doubts, but you're trying to make sure that they walk out knowing that they can overcome whatever it is they're going through. They came in for your product, but yet you guys are talking about life. That's why I say all the time, start by complimenting your guests. It allows them to open up, bring up a smile on their faces, and start telling you about themselves. That's what you want. That's how you show up different than anybody else out there. Welcome to the show, guys. Kuntom, welcome to the show. Junza, welcome to the show. Almost there. So closing with commitment to change. Invite action. Finish by inviting prospect to commit, not merely to a purchase, but to the journey of transformation your product enables. Provide clear next steps to your clients. Offer specific ways they can join the mission and begin experiencing the change today. Not tomorrow, today. Closing and action steps. See, every time I do a show, my goal is always to leave you guys with something that you can actually start implementing right away. That's the action steps, which is very important. So if you have a pen and paper, write some of these steps that I'm about to give you. Always when you come to the show, we do the show, by the way, twice a week. We do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, we do it at 5 a.m. And Thursdays, we do it at 12 noon. So when you come prepared, come with a pen and paper, because the goal is always to give you value. I'm always going to keep pouring value into you guys. And then I'm going to give you some action steps that you can actually use and take right away. because the goal is always what? Keep growing, keep getting better. And what can we do to start implementing some of the things that we're teaching so we can keep getting better? So we can keep transforming our lives so we can also help transform others. So closing and action steps. Redesign your presentation for transformation. Excuse me. Audit your current deck. Identify where you emphasize features rather than transformation and restructure accordingly. So don't just focus on just features. Restructure that and actually focus on transformation instead. Second point, integrate the transform model that we just went through a few minutes ago. Ensure your narrative flows from testimonies to mission. Testimonies was the T and mission was the M, which is the last letter. So ensure that your narrative flows from testimonies to mission, always highlighting the outcome you help achieve. Point 2, collect 5 transformation stories. Remember I said that earlier throughout the presentation. Stories are very important. Jeanette Lewis, welcome to the show. Stories are very important to selling. So collect 5 transformation stories. That's why I told you guys earlier. That's why I love Zig so much, because I believe that he was definitely the master at story when it comes to storytelling. It allows you to captivate your clients. It allows you to connect with them. That's why it's so important. So collect 5 transformation stories. Seek out testimonies. Interview at least 5 customers or clients whose lives have been transformed and capture their stories in writing or video. These are clients that you actually helped along the way. They came to see you with a problem and you was able to help transform their lives. So get those testimonies from those clients. Use stories as the heartbeat. Make these testimonies the core of your presentation. They demonstrate your mission in action and inspire others. That's why it's so important. There's credibility there. There's trust there. And people will also know that you know what you're doing because they see the result that you was able to actually get for other clients. And they're going to deal with you. Remember, nowadays, this is technology. People sometimes will Google you, look you up, know everything to know about you before they even come see you. Right? So having those testimonies is going to come handy. Fatou Massa, comment tu vas? Sois la bienvenue. On a presque fini, mais merci d'être passé. Sorry, guys, I had to switch in French for a minute. That was my sister there. Welcome to the show. Miaz, welcome to the show. Last point on the action steps. Practice your new presentation approach. Switch it up a little bit. Tighten it up a little bit. Rehearse with intention. Hear me now. Practice delivering your updated presentation using the hero's journey and transform model. Paying attention to emotional and connection and pacing. That is very important, guys. This is very, very, very important. That's what I'm talking about. Rehearse with intention. Make sure that it becomes intentional moving forward, right? Use the hero's journey that we just went through and also the transform model. From testimonies all the way down to mission. This is how you transform yourself and transform your customers. Because I said it earlier, you're not just selling product, you're selling transformation. Very important. All right. Last but not least, gather feedback. Thank you, sister. Appreciate the love. Gather feedbacks. Present a trusted peer or mentor. Refine your delivery and ensure your mission resonates deeply. That was the last point I wanted to leave you guys with. Thank you guys for stopping by. As always, we love you. Appreciate the love. Hey, my name's Garcia. You joined us at the last minute, but we're definitely going to be back here on Tuesday again at 5 a.m. So join us again on the next time around. So again, as always, we thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. My sister, I appreciate you. I love you. I thank you. Say hello to the family for me. This was great. I enjoyed it. This was fun. I hope you guys did as well. Remember, always the goal is to bring you guys value and bring everything that's going to actually help enhance and protect and take you guys to the next level. It's all about elevating and getting to the next level. And anything we can do to do exactly that, that's what we're going to do here at the show. This is the Holy Grail Sales Podcast. I'm your faith-based salesman. And we talk about servant salesmanship here. We learn the right way. We learn how to sell like the greatest salesman of all time. Hope I was able to bring you some value. And if so, join us again on the next one. It'll be on Tuesday at 5 a.m. Thank you, guys. We appreciate the love. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to the next time around. Have a fantastic day, and as always, remain blessed. Till next time. Merci, ma soeur.